Hi guys, welcome to Fierce and Pretty, Honey here. Today I'm doing a VR to Natalia at Ouroboros' hashtag Punked by Devil. And to answer the question, am I? Have I been punked by the devil? Not sure. Let's see. So, first of all, why I'm doing this VR, I love the point that Natalia is doing these videos where she's talking about one individual card, using mostly the Thoth cards while she's talking about them and making them hashtags so people can join the conversation and bring out their own views. And that's one thing that I really appreciate about YouTube and about having this community, to have dialogues. That's why I'm trying to bring my part into the conversation. So today we are just concentrating on the devil. This is, by the way, a new card that I got. I don't have the deck. It's by Moline. It's from his new Majors Only Pharaoh's Tarot. But I thought that I would show you actually more cards than just the Thoth devil. And I rarely just use the tarot cards one by one. And one of Natalia's questions in the end of her video, which is by the way linked down below, was that how do we see the devil in reading? And my point of view is more talking about the majority of this video about the devil being in a reading, not just the devil archetype. First, I'm showing you these Moline's decks because after Thoth, they are one of my favorites. And this is the devil from the Rosetta Tarot. And this also depicts really nicely about the important things that I'm considering about the devil when I start to think of it. So what are the things that I think immediately? I of course think of the zodiac sign of Capricorn. I think of its ruling planet Saturn. I think about the placings in the Tree of Life. I think about Saturn in Binah and Ayin, the path of Ayin, which comes from the Hebrew letter in the devil card. So I think about the path from Hod to Tiferet, towards sun, towards light. And the path of the devil, it can be actually quite dark. Here's the card from Emma Maline's Tabula Mundi. It also depicts all these important things that I like to see in a devil card. The one thing that I love about this card is how the devil is entangled to the DNA and how the devil is part of our DNA. And this also has this old hourglass, making me think about Kronos, the god of time. Then there are Saturns, because Kronos, he is Saturn. And there are so many things that I do think about when I think about the devil. Devil is a cardinal sign, cardinal earth. So we move into the zodiac of Capricorn during the winter solstice. Here up north in the dark Finland, winter solstice is the darkest day of the year. Before that, the whole fall, the seasons from Scorpio to Sagittarius and then towards Capricorn, it's just getting darker and darker and darker. So, and then the Capricorn comes into the game, the devil comes into the game around the darkest day of the year. But what happens then? The transformation starts again. because it's a cardinal sign. It brings the change. So we're stepping from the dark fall that is truly dark here. You might not see the sun at all, and in winter solstice the sun doesn't even come up. But then we start to transfer towards light. The winter is starting to progress. The world is starting to change. The Capricorn energy is starting to renew the earth underneath the snow up here. So it does bring, I agree with Natalia, the creation also, the part of creating. But it can be a bit hidden, also the works of the devil, how he creates. But Saturn bringing in the masculine quality, and Natalia, she talked about a lot of this masculine creation, but also Capricorn being an earth sign. It is considered to be feminine, receptive sign against with water signs. So there is this duality a lot in the devil card. The devil is ourselves also. The devil, I really don't consider the devil in the Christian way. Never been my cup of tea. What does cardinal earth do? It brings quick, it's changing, it's creating, it's birthing something new, and it's starting, and it's quick. So these are the energies that I consider about when I think about the devil card. And me, if I think about now, I'm quite enthusiastic about my astrology studies lately. So also the meaning of devil has become more important to me because I have my Mars in devil, and Mars is exalted in devil. So I also think about not only the bad things that devil brings, but also the good, constructive, building things, the creative force and the energy, which is what I feel a lot in my birth chart with these planetary placings. When I think about the devil, I always think about material world because we are in earth. I think about desires, wants and needs. Also maybe the hidden ones, the deeper ones. And I can't help but mention, because we've been watching the newest season of Lucifer on Netflix, and I really love that series. Even if you don't think it as educational or real in any way. But I think the Lucifer series is really fun when you think about the devil, because there, the devil, Lucifer, Morningstar, his character is not only the evil Christian devil, he's so much more, and so is the devil card in the tarot. In that series, Lucifer has this mojo when he asks to people, mostly to the criminals that they are trying to catch with his partner, with the detective. So, and he asks these people, what is it that you truly desire? And then the devil, the Lucifer, gets people to tell them their deepest, darkest secrets. So I also see that side as one side of the devil card. But what does the devil card represent to me in a reading? It always comes to the context of the reading. It depends. If the question is about love life, relationship, work, whatever is the topic that we are talking about, that gives me the lens that I'm watching through to see the devil and how it presents itself to me in that specific reading. The thing that Natalia kind of picks out most as being punked by the devil is seeing the vices in the devil card. But I do see that sometimes, and I don't consider myself punked because that's not the only part of the devil that I see. But we do have different type of devil cards that show different faces of the devil. I'm going to add these cards so you can see them better. I have all my devil cards picked out here. But we do have devil cards that do depict more about the vices. This is from the This Might Hurt Tarot. See the devil, he's smoking there, people are drinking. These people, they seem to have, in the anarchy, they seem to be having kind of an orgy, a bacchanal there. We do have a lot of different decks that show us the different face of the devil. So the deck might bring its own input, as does the context of the reading. But when I think about the devil card, it also makes me think about the Saturn returns that happen for each and every one of us around the age of 27 to 30. And I don't know if you have in English, I haven't checked out the saying about the crisis of 30s. At least in Finnish we do have the word 30 kriisi. So it's the crisis of the 30s. And I think that for many of us it actually has to do with our Saturn returns. Depending on where Saturn is in our natal chart and how that specific thing will change us in a big way when we get our first Saturn return. So that's also a thing that I might be considering if the reading would be to an age-appropriate individual. So I'm bringing in also the parts from astrology. With the devil card, there's always these temptations and trials of the material world will included in the darker side of the card. But when I think about the Capricorn energy, if we're talking about reading with of a job, of a career, then the devil brings total different energy into the game. The devil can be determined, skillful, intelligent, practical, hard worker. The devil can bring so much into a working place, or as being the leader of a business, starting things, new things, and creating also. So the devil energy ain't always bad. It can be really constructive and creative, as Natalia also said in her video. But also on that side, the material things and the need for money can be the other side of that coin. It can bring out the darker aspects of the devil also in a job-related reading. The devil card has a lot of force and power in it. It ain't, in any reading, it ain't just a meaningless card. There is always something strong in that card when it pops up. And for people that love Thoth and are into sex magic, there's a lot of that also included into the devil card. But in a relationship reading, I think that the devil actually can bring out these sexual things. If you, for example, have a relationship with a Scorpio and you're asking about it and you see the devil card, well, at least for me, it makes me think about something hot and steamy might be happening. It doesn't have to be negative in a sexual reading. It can be a positive, but it can be binding also. But when it comes to devil, whatever the context, I always see the dual sides. And for me, in my own life, I also have a tattoo here on my side. There is a black raven and a white dove. And the dove is rising up to and flying away above the dark black crow that is sitting on my hip. And I see that when I took the tattoo several years ago, the thing I was thinking during, because it took like 12 hours in few sessions to do that, so it was painstaking on the hip when the needle and the ink was drilling to my hip bone or to my ribs hurts. But I was reflecting on my life, the darkness inside me, the bad things inside me, and the goodness, because I feel that we do have the choice to decide how we want to be, how we want to live, how we want to present ourselves, how we want our devil to behave. Do we want to give its free power to do whatever it wants and use the, and then just afterwards say, the devil made me do it, like I did in my year to Hannah at Astrological when I took a whiskey. But hey, that time the devil made me do it. But if we would use that excuse all the time, I think that that's just laziness, not trying to use your own strength. Then you would be totally punked by the devil if you would let him manipulate you at every time. And in the devil card, I also see us being our own adversary, a worst adversary or our worst enemy. And that's also a part that the tattoo is talking to me, that there is the darkness, there is the light in me, and I'm the one in control who wins at the end. And sometimes the devil can talk about unconscious urges, the things that we truly desire, even though we don't even know it. Again, depending on the context of the reading. Sometimes the devil has been talking to me straight in a reading for a client about gambling problems. So there are these darker things, these type of addictions also that do pop up. The devil card is, it can be positive, it can be negative. It is a truly deep and versatile energy. Because we ain't no helpless slaves, but fighting the devil energy when we are walking the dark path of Ayin towards Tiferet, towards sun, towards light, is always darkest before the dawn, before the light. And the path, it often asks us to have courage. We have to want something more than our current vice or addiction might be. So there's also that to overcome the bad part of the devil, it asks you a lot of energy and force and strength. Like for me, cutting back my nicotine habit, because I've been a heavy smoker when I was younger and still hooked on nicotine until these days. To overcome that urge and need, I would have to want to be stronger than the devil. But that day hasn't come yet. Maybe one day that will, but it will ask. But that requires that I do actually want something more than my urge. So how do I see the devil? Just quickly summarizing. It all comes to the context of the reading. I do see the creative potential. I do see a lot of positive in that energy. But then there is the other side. And for me, devil, as I showed you during this video, these several depictions of devil, he can change. He changes when the questions change. He changes when the deck change. He ain't ever the same. He's not just simply one thing. He can be many things. Devil can be good and productive. Devil can be seductive. He can lure you into the vices also. But devil can be strength. Devil can be about making choices. The devil can be about letting go, moving on, renewal. It can be about creating. Or the devil can be a total douche like this one, to the guys that have seen the Game of Thrones. Ugh. So as you see all in all these different images of the devil, he has so many faces. He has so many disguises. And one of my hardest devil cards is from the New Era Elements. This card. And this is one of the reasons why I couldn't use this deck while reading with clients, maybe with somebody who knows the tarot and who's seen the deck and can take it all in. But I think that this is the hardest depiction of the devil that I have in my decks. And is it the work of the devil, or is it just the work of men, the evil inside men that actually do this? With the cruelties in the world that are, for example, depicted in this card, we just simply can't blame the devil made us do that. That is the bad. That is the bad that comes inside of man. But not all devils have ugly faces. Some of them smile, like this goat in the Thoth Tarot. He smiles in a way that he knows something more than the rest of us. He smiles in the way that he has few secrets in his back pockets. He smiles because he knows more about us than we do. He might see us as the way we are, or try to lure us into the ways just to see if we can be tempted to the dark side. So here are just some of my thoughts about the devil card. Sorry if it ended up being confusing, rambling, but I feel that getting punked by the devil is easy if you just see him in one way. I think that is, for me, that is the biggest risk, if you just see the devil in one way. Because he can't be put into a mold. He ain't all bad. He ain't all good. He ain't just about addictions and vices and sex and bondage. He's also about going forward, being determined, creating, building, transforming. There's so many things. Restriction that comes from Saturn. Just endless amount of points. But for me, the devil, whenever he comes up in a reading, it's always a surprise. I never know beforehand what the devil will present itself to me in a reading until it comes. And when it comes, it just ends up coming clear. I think that his messages, even though they may be versatile, but they are meaningful and they have many layers. So thanks to Natalia at Ouroboros for creating these great hashtags, not just around the devil card, but also the other cards. I've enjoyed watching your videos and the VRs to these different card hashtags. I appreciate the dialogue and the ongoing conversation, so I hope that also other people do VRs to Natalia. I would at least be interested to hear your thoughts about the devil. And just remember, there are no wrong answers or wrong lenses to look at the devil, even though the hashtag is a bit intimidating in a way that punked by the devil. At least I would want to know how you truly see the devil. Thanks for watching, guys, and until next time, bye!